everybody, my name is Niall, welcome back to the show, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit scared to upload this video, because, it is a subject that I've never talked about on my channel before. It's a subject with a little bit of stigma around it. It's a subject that, a lot of people don't really like to see, because it just has a lot of negativity surrounding it. I'm of course talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, specifically the lore behind it. I've been following it since the second game came out, and it has changed a lot. Because obviously Scott doesn't want to be too explicit with anything. He likes being very vague and mysterious. It wasn't until the sixth game when we actually started getting explicit confirmation of the story surrounding Five Nights at Freddy's. And on top of that, there was a reboot between 4 and 5, because 1 through 4 had sort of this dream slash like nightmare-esque setting, whereas 5 and 6 started building upon more of a human drama. What we think the story is has changed a lot. The story has actually only changed once, again between 4 and 5. But what we think the story is has changed more times than I can count on my hands. With each new installment in the series comes more information, which means we can build upon the story. We can build upon what we think the story is, correction. Things change a lot. After the 6th game, the story seemed pretty set in stone. A little bit of a disclaimer. Obviously the title and thumbnail already sort of like pushed away all the people who don't like this series. But for anyone who actually likes Five Nights at Freddy's but doesn't know a whole lot about the story, I would advise you watch all of MatPat's theories on Five Nights at Freddy's. I'll link either the channel or the playlist. I don't know if I can do playlists. In the iCard, no, it's over here. iCard, yeah, okay, it's over here. In the iCard over there, as well as in the description, that'll take you to the entire playlist of all of the videos MatPat has done on the Game Theorist channel about Five Nights at Freddy's. Because trust me when I say, this gets really nerdy, really confusing, and really convoluted very quickly. So if you don't understand what's going on in these games, watch those videos, catch up on the theories, and come back to me when you sort of understand everything I'm talking about, so you don't get lost and confused. Because there's a lot of things about this story that you're not going to understand unless you have context. So, after FNAF 6, the story seemed relatively set in stone. There's the Aftons, William Afton, Michael Afton, Elizabeth Afton, and then the crying child, no name given. And presumably the mother has never really been confirmed. Crying child, from FNAF 4, again, no name given. He assumingly went on to possess Golden Freddy after dying in the jaws of a Golden Freddy at Freddy Fazbear's. Elizabeth Afton went on to possess Baby because she died in the middle stomach claw of Baby in Five Nights at Freddy's 5. We have William Afton, who resides in Springtrap, not possessed. He is physically inside Springtrap after getting stuck. We have Michael Afton, who is the protagonist in both FNAF 5 and FNAF 6. And he gets, I don't want to say possessed, but occupied by Ennard, who is the combination of Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, and Ballora. And then Ennard got rejected because he didn't have internal organs to be able to survive. His body decomposed, and Ennard left. But Michael Afton was able to survive because when he got scooped, as is the term used, think of that as you will, he was also infused with Remnant, which is basically the energy that a body gives off after death. It's basically their soul energy, however you want to put it. And that allowed him to survive with literally no internal organs. So Michael Afton learns about his father's atrocities because for those of you who ignored my warning and didn't watch the videos, didn't watch the playlist, William Afton is a child murderer. I didn't write the story, I just follow it. And once Michael learns of this, he tries to stop him. Sorry if I'm speaking a bit fast, there's a lot of information to go through in one video, and I don't like uploading videos longer than 12 minutes long. Not to mention the anxiety I'm feeling about uploading this video while recording, so just keep that in mind. The whole story is basically about the entire family as well as the victims passing on, leaving peacefully. The possessed animatronics in FNAF 1 passed on peacefully in FNAF 3, in the Happiest Day minigame. I'm gonna put my hat on because my hair is pissing me off. William Afton is inside Springtrap, the Golden Bonnie suit. Michael Afton tries to burn the place down to end the reign of terror of his father, but fails because he survives. And then everyone else in the Afton family gets burned in the FNAF 6 location. Michael Afton, the character we play as, William Afton inside Springtrap, the daughter inside Baby, Henry's daughter, Charlotte inside the puppet. They all get burned and pass on. They leave the animatronics and their spirits pass on to the afterlife, assumingly. Assuming there is an afterlife in this universe. So you get all that. You got all that recapping. Probably not because I spoke really fast, but if you already know what's happening, you probably understand. That's what we all thought was happening. Turns out that's not the case. Five Nights at Freddy's is frustrating because every single installment, everything just gets upended. So, in the survival logbook, it's supposed to be sort of a children's activity book. I'll have screenshots of it up on the screen now. It's just a lot of like super cartoony stuff. But that's what we're supposed to think about it. It's disguised as a children's activity book. And so we learn that it's actually Mike's. He labeled it in the beginning of the book. It says Mike in red pen. And in the book, it's established that Mike writes all of his answers down in red pen. You'll see faded gray text, and that's supposed to be the spirit of the logbook, assumingly it's the spirit possessing Golden Freddy, which up till now we thought was the crying child. There are codes sprinkled across the book, and once you put all of those codes into the crossword puzzle, you get the name Cassidy. I think everyone's established at this point that the name we get from the crossword is the name of the spirit that possesses Golden Freddy, because in the crossword there's a very random, and it's not one of the goal words. It's not one of the words that you're supposed to find in the log. There's a very random "it's me," which is, for any of you guys who don't know, "it's me" is Golden Freddy's signature catchphrase. That is what pops up on the screen when he jump scares you in the original games. So we have Cassidy, the name of spirit possessing Golden Freddy. Then what happens to the crying child? Since obviously his name's not Cassidy. So now all of a sudden the crying child's not the one who goes on to possess Golden Freddy. Well, there's a few other things in the book. As I said, Michael Afton writes in red pen. The spirit possessing Golden Freddy writes in faded gray text. And there's a drawing in the logbook of Nightmare Freddy. So how is one supposed to know what Golden Freddy looks like when it's basically confirmed at this point that the events of FNAF 4, at least the nights anyway, are dreams. They're nightmares. I think you get where I'm going at this point. The protagonist of FNAF 4 is Michael Afton. And at this point it's actually confirmed that the protagonist of all of the games is Michael Afton. How in the flying fuck are you supposed to explain Michael Afton's literal death at the end of FNAF 4? How does he die at the end of FNAF 4 and then go on to be the protagonist of the rest of the games? FNAF 4 is literally the earliest in the timeline. So if he dies then that should be the end of his story, right? Wrong. This is Five Nights at Freddy's, everybody. There's no such thing as neat and tidy endings. What are those? This whole game is just full of like unanswered questions. And I understand that that's kind of the appeal of Five Nights at Freddy's, is that everything is speculatory, nothing is confirmed. But it gets infuriating when the storyline you thought was confirmed ever since the release of FNAF 6 just gets thrown out the window. It's real fun. Oh, I'm having a blast. Let me tell you. Oof. But even after FNAF 6, which explains everything very explicitly, we still have a lot of questions. And the logbook answers a lot of those, but also provides even more questions. as to what the hell is going on here. So yeah, I don't know. I wanted to make this video. It's a bit new, something I haven't really talked about before. Even a lot of my friends don't even really know I follow the series all that much. It is something that I've kept relatively under wraps because Five Nights at Freddy's has such a negative stigma behind it. But I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna put this out. Sorry if I seem a bit rambled. I am frustrated at the confusing nature of the story, as well as trying to just speed it up so this video isn't too long because there's a lot of information to cover. I might have repeated myself a few times because I just rambled so quickly and nonsensically. I'm sorry if I repeated anything throughout this video. I just wanted to get my thoughts on out there. I may have just talked in circles. I probably did actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, I guess we'll learn more as time goes on. I will update you when we do get answers, if we do get answers. And hopefully we can tie a nice, neat, tidy little bow on this franchise, because this is just a clusterfuck. That'll be the end of the videos today. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. My next video is going to be about Forsaken, because you know I like to update you guys on Destiny related stuff. And then I also have thoughts about the Pokemon Let's Go duology coming to the Switch, as well as the 2019 release of a main series Pokemon game coming to the Switch as well. I will give you my thoughts on those sometime in the future. Hope to see you guys in the next video. This is Niall signing out, and I apologize for all of the confusion I have caused you all.